Hello, welcome to another webinar. Today we're talking about connecting the dots with SEO, PPC, social media and email marketing and how they all work together to get the best outcome for your clinic. My name is Michael Coleman. I'm the owner of Local Health Marketing and we specialise in SEO and websites for the allied health space. Let's jump in. So before I begin, I kind of wanted to lay out a bird's eye view of the digital landscape. This is something we created in our old agency a while ago, so some of the technology might be a bit outdated, but I believe it still paints a relevant picture for today. So on the right-hand side are all the different ways we can drive traffic to the website. So email marketing, social media, SEO, as we've discussed, and also online advertising. In the allied health space, that's predominantly paid search, so Google Ads. But the other options are retargeting. So if someone comes to your website, we can install the Facebook pixel and serve them ads from Facebook or Instagram. And then often the offline advertising in events is overlooked, but I really like this idea, especially if you're in a clinic that niches. So if you're sort of looking at, cyclists or say like women's health, what kind of sponsorships can we do offline to drive traffic to the clinic or, online as well. But what's really important about all this is, it's one thing kind of driving traffic to a website, but we also take the time to learn and understand your brand and tell its story. With the strategy, we want to know who the target market is, and that's absolutely crucial when it comes to creative. So like what imagery do we show, what type of content is written up on the website, and then, with that copy, how do we use that same language that we know resonates with our target market, through our social media posts, email marketing posts, and Google Ads as well. So jumping right into it, I wanted to do a bunch of research on how Australians actually choose a health provider. So I came across this article, ThinkWithGoogle, and they did a review for how Australians choose their health services. So you can read that article here. The top things I sort of plucked out were that Australians turn to mobile to find help for everything from anywhere from toothaches to tendinitis. And in those initial moments, people are searching, that they're ultimately looking for information, advice, and where they can actually get the treatment. And then what they're sort of saying is on average, people are conducting 3.1 searches when they're finding a health service provider. So it could be, modality plus location, so physio plus, where we're located, or it could be the specific ailment. They want to see that there's a provider near them that they can help them with their service, or, then just looking for another alternative to, say, compare on price, because what we're also told is that a lot of those searches come down to sort of availability. If I've hurt my back now, like I need a physio, I need to get in today, who's available. Pricing, quotes, I don't think is related too much to the allied health space, maybe dentistry potentially, but and also directions is super critical. Which leads us into the local convenience is key. So, if you're, in time of emergency, as I just mentioned, you don't want to travel too far as well, because you might be in some, tremendous pain. So really what we're noticing is that they're on the lookout for local practices that they can get to easily. And they tell, there's reports sort of says that people are searching for, modality kind of near me. Number three, and which I found super interesting, is this concept of building trust online. So on average, Aussies consider 2 health services providers, and they want to know that their health is in good hands. It's not like buying, like clothes or, something for the kitchen. Health's obviously super important. So we need to know that there's trust there. And really, if we're going to help people choose your service, we need to build that trust and be transparent. So I've kind of highlighted here that transparency and simplicity are key. So just transparent in photos, content, your location. There's one thing kind of, gaining the Google system to rank for, a suburb that's like 15 kilometres away that might get more traffic to the site. But at the end of the day, we want to be in that vicinity. And the last thing I found interesting was just shortcut the online booking process and make it extremely convenient for patients to start a conversation. So, having the online booking tool that people can easily find on the website to make an appointment, or even just like a quick kind of click here button on mobile, because we know that lots of interaction comes from mobile. So this case study was conducted in 2017, and what I wanted to do was run it against the data that I've got with my clients already and see if this kind of rings true today. So what I noticed was I looked at 5 clients based in Victoria and New South Wales, and just looked at like a subset of data, so 60 days. So 73% of Google traffic is coming from the mobile phone. So coming back to this, Aussie's turn to mobile, they're spot on there. And this I found really interesting as well. Percentages of bookings, 79% of bookings are actually made on the mobile, which is comes down to this kind of, shortcut the online booking process. Then I wanted to sort of measure like trust. So I've done this with 2 kind of stats that we kind of in Google Analytics called engagement. So the number of people who visit the site 2+ more times before making a booking. So with this data, I'm only looking at people who have made a booking in the last 60 days, and 43% of people that made a booking came to the site 2+ more times. So like 3 times to the site, they made a booking, 5 times to the site, they made a booking. And I just found that really interesting because it comes back to, they're conducting the search. You may have actually appeared for 2 of those searches out of the 3, and the patient has come to your site twice and then sort of made the booking. So one could be, physio near me, and then, ailment near me type thing, and they've landed on the site twice. And this is another one, the average amount of time on site. So I looked at the amount of, for those people that made a booking, how much time were they actually spending on these websites? And it's close to 3 minutes, which is really high. Again, this is kind of this trust thing. They're actually properly researching the site, taking their time to read through and, make sure that you're the right practitioner for them. Then I jumped into another report in Google Analytics that kind of tell us this sort of journey. So coming back to people are like, on average, they're considering 2 health service providers. Like, what does that mean? And like, how much time are they taking, and how many times are they coming back to the site before they actually made a booking? So in this report here, we're looking at people that have made bookings. So people that have come to the site direct, so that's putting in the URL in the browser, equated to 26 bookings here, so 26%. Organic, so if someone comes to Google, so this could be 2 things. It could be someone typing in your brand name, so if you're Enhanced Physio, typing that into Google, or just doing like physio near me as a search, and then they just came back to the site. But this is where it gets really interesting, is that here we can see someone's come to the site via organic and then direct. Someone's come from paid search and then direct. And then down here, and there are 35 different combinations, someone's come direct and then organic and then direct twice and then made a booking. A paid search, direct 4 times and made a booking. So it's just showing that this real, it's not just this, okay, we do one search, we come to the site once, we make a booking. They're coming back over and over again before that booking gets made. And then this brings us to this other report. And basically what this is saying is in Google Analytics, they attribute the conversion to the last click. So coming back to here, direct will get the attribution. So we can see here that direct has accounts for 72 conversions. And we can see that because that's all like down the end. But these parts here, organic, paid, organic, they're doing their research before they actually make a decision to make a booking. And then, they remember your URL, put it in the browser, and then make that booking. So when we come here, we see, okay, Google Ads accounts for 4 direct bookings, but we can see here, not that one, so here and there, they started their search with Google Ads and then they made the booking through direct. So, and that's what's displayed here. Someone through, $1,500 worth of bookings was the first click from Google Ads, but only $440 gets attributed to that. So just found that really interesting. And this is all available in Google Analytics under goals, and you can check it out for yourselves. I wanted to sort of touch on all the landscapes that we've sort of spoken about. So SEO, search engine optimization, this is very much the long game. So if we come back here where we see organic search, that's SEO. So just to reiterate, it's things like your brand name gets searched, your location plus modality, also condition and modality gets a little bit of search. And what I've also noticed is if you have product services, so for example, shockwave therapy, you might not get a lot of search for that particular sort of product or service, but they convert extremely high. So if we only get 10 of these a month, 5 of those are going to convert because people know what they want, and they're going to kind of go, say, okay, well, he does shockwave, I trust him, let's book in an appointment. So with this SEO, again, it's a long game. We're optimizing the website to rank higher in the search engines. And then the aim here is so we can get found by what I've just mentioned here, with a focus on Google Maps, which is really important, and organic rankings. And then with online advertising, so you might have heard pay-per-click, Google Ads, or Facebook ads. I like to see these as really quick wins and learnings as well. So paid search is sort of immediate. We can go live tomorrow. We can send traffic to your site. We can pick the particular keywords that we want to rank for. So we can put in, your sort of location and modality. We might even pick surrounding suburbs as well. There's a suburb next door, which might only be like 2 streets away, but because our postcode's near the border, that's how Google see us. So Google Ads gives us this ability to sort of say, okay, well, we're in Hawthorne East, but there's probably more of a population in Hawthorne. Let's advertise to Hawthorne. And then we can see how that goes. And then we can also learn from that, because if we know that, there's actually a lot more traffic in Hawthorne, but in Hawthorne East, we have more conversion, more people making bookings that search for physio Hawthorne East, then maybe let's just sort of stick to that. Because, there's a lot more competition in Hawthorne as an example. Number 3 is the email and SMS marketing. So I feel this game is focused on lifetime value of a patient. So in email marketing, we're nurturing patients, we're building that relationship, we're selling products, we're selling services. Every time there's a new practitioner, that comes or goes, it gives us an excuse to write to our database and just give an update on what's happening. And at the end of the day, we're kind of there for those people who are like, I should really book in for a physio, but sort of never get to it. That's what that kind of SMS and email marketing is there for. Lastly, social media. So social media, I understand, takes a lot of time and effort, but what that's going to do is keep your brand front of mind with your audience, and also help you build relationships with potential and current patients. So with potential patients, what we want to kind of do is educate them on, these are the type of services. This is what, this is kind of when we talk about our branding and our strategy, that's what we really need to shine through on social media. So, if we're into sports physio and we're a bunch of runners, and you're going to do, run for the kids or whatever, go out, take some photos, post that onto social media. Don't worry about it being or not being sort of professional. I feel the more like raw it is, people get a real good insight into the clinic and are likely to make comments versus all the sort of stage photos and stuff like that. So with the SEO, like what I kind of want to get the takeouts from this webinar is what to work on. Because it's very, very easy for me to kind of say, hey, this is everything to do with SEO that you should focus on. But I've sort of listed out a few things that I think are very achievable to do. So jump into your Google Ads and look at the data for the last 90 days. So you can kind of go in the top right-hand corner and change the time frame of the set of data we're looking at. Head over to your search terms. So search terms are different to keywords. So we have keywords, and search terms are actually what people are typing in to find you. So we might have the term physio near me, and the actual search term that gets typed into Google is actually best physio near me. And so if we learn from that, and people that type in those terms in are becoming patients, then we sort of want to learn from that and then optimize that too. So to get to the search term reports, make sure you're looking at all campaigns. Head over to the keywords tab, will be on the left, and then click on search terms. And just analyze the top performing keywords and just make sure you're looking at the conversions as well. If you can just do a YouTube tutorial on how to find performing search terms, and it's pretty straightforward. If you really struggle, email me and I can send you a quick video. SEO. So basically, with this in mind, once we know, okay, we're running our Google Ads, this is what's working, this is what we kind of want to do from the SEO perspective. If we're not using Google Ads, then we can just sort of have a guess here because we know, like, the main keywords that drive traffic are, your sort of modality plus location. It's kind of not rocket science. But jump across to Google and actually search for this term. See where you're ranked and analyze those competitors who are above you. Notice their title tags and descriptions, and also click through their site and just take note of their content. What words are they using? How many words? And then what you can do is head over to your site and basically update your title tag, update your description. And if there's any opportunity, you might want to also update your content to include these keywords. And then bonus if you kind of get them into the H1 and H2 tags. So what I thought I'd do is just jump over to Google. So I might do physio, I might just do St Kilda. And so these are the ads that are appearing for St Kilda. So I would kind of look at these, because these guys are probably spending a bit of money on Google Ads to be in the number one position. So let's kind of see what they're doing, same day bookings available. So that was kind of what Google said to us was, people are looking for. So let's get, we might want to get that in our kind of title tag as well, and then description, just reading through any of this stuff and see if that resonates, and then just jumping over to some of these pages and seeing what they do. So takes them to the physio page. There's a bit of content, not much here, but click to the home page, just see, quickly read through that. And then this is the organic search. So here the Ackland Street guys have got local sports injury and spinal physio St Kilda. So they've got the St Kilda word in there. They've got physio St Kilda there. Then there's here the Melbourne Physio Pilates Fitness, St Kilda Physiotherapy, and we sort of see that. So if we're kind of down here, say, core Melbourne, what could we do? That works well. So with the Google ads, it actually gives us an advantage because we can see if people are typing physio or physiotherapy, St Kilda, but I'm sort of just thinking this is physio. But yeah, just kind of going here. Looks like they've got a fair bit of content here with some question answers. And in here, on it, like hypothetically, if this is ours, we've also got a bit of question, but a bit of content here. But I think what's kind of missing is sort of a bit of structure to these pages as well. It just looks like someone's just slapped some content on here, whereas this sort of looks a little nicer. These are probably proper headings, like heading 2s and stuff like that. And I use this tool called SEO Meta in one click. It's a free Chrome tool. You can just Google that. And then it's gives us like what are the title tags, and then here the headings. So they actually don't have many headings. It's interesting. They've only got H1s and H2s. And here, let's have a look at this. St Kilda, they got the description in there, and they got a lot of headings. So they got 2 H1s, so that's like something we like to keep to 1 H1. So that's probably a bit of feedback I would give them, is to stick to 1. But then, and then they got H2s as well. So what I would do here is build these out, into like a hashtag, and just kind of break up this content, make it look a bit more appealing. It kind of just has a bit of a bad SEO feel about this page. All right. So the last 2 things I want to touch on is the social media. So if you've been writing blog posts but haven't posted them to social media in a while, now's a good time to do that. So it might be that you posted 6 months ago, 8 months ago. Have no shame in reposting that content, as long as it's still relevant to today, which I'm sure it is. One tip I would give you is just make sure the content you post to the different, like if you're going to post to sort of Facebook and Instagram, just make it unique. I see a lot of companies, and we're probably guilty of it as well, posting the same content to Facebook as to Instagram. People are going to interact differently on those networks, so in the different networks. So I'll try and just have separate sort of content. Make sure you're have a call to action in place. So you're kind of book now, book online, bookings available today, that kind of thing, and link it back to your website or the article that we're posting. And then email marketing. So this is a great cheap opportunity to get people back through the doors. Don't be afraid to promote the new service or a blog page, or touch base even if you haven't sent out an email in a while or ever. And be sure to include a call to action button, again, where people can just make a booking online or visit your website. So with Clinico, most of you use Clinico. There's a MailChimp integration. We also have our own product too. So yeah, if this is something you're interested, let us know. But at the end of the day, you're just going to kind of get something out there. It doesn't really matter what it looks like. We often overthink it. And if we can kind of get, 5 new patients out of this, 5 existing patients coming back through the door, then that's a massive win, because like email marketing is practically free. I know a lot of people struggle with social media and planning and kind of what to do and have a system for it. So I've kind of just laid one out for you guys in a couple of steps. So step number 1, pick a theme for the next 90 days. So pick a theme that you and your practice are best known for. So it could be if you focus on women's health as an example, let's run with that. Conduct 3 interviews, so 1 per month, schedule it into the diary, have a Zoom conversation, record it, and interview the people discussing your theme. So with our women's health example, you could interview a physio. We could interview a clinical Pilates instructor and even a nutritionist. So the physio and the clinical Pilates instructor might be in-house, but a nutritionist might be external that we know or that we refer work to, and get them in. And even if they're external, that's great as well, because they can also share their post on social media and vice versa. And you can just you got two databases to kind of build from social media. So, but just make sure each conversation revolve around, the women's health. We always want to bring it back to that. And ultimately what we're doing is just creating awareness of this theme for the next 90 days. This is another really good one to do, just to kind of help you get into the flow and also get in the flow of social media posts. But prepare questions that your patients are likely to ask. And you can also Google and look at people, this people also ask section as well. So just coming back to here, let's just go clinical Pilates as an example. And so this people also ask section, what you can do is just click on them like multiple times. And what happens is you kind of get a bunch of questions. So some of these aren't going to be relevant to you. That's fine. Ignore them. But the ones that are relevant, that is what I would kind of be discussing. So what is clinical Pilates? A great one. What's the difference between reformer Pilates and clinical Pilates is perfect. Like that. So I don't know, I wouldn't be talking about that, but how often should you do clinical Pilates? Again, bringing it back to like women's health, well, prenatal, postnatal, is 20 minutes of Pilates a day enough? I think maybe we can talk about that, through the week, but, is Pilates good for over 50? So if you're, I think that could be a good topic as well to sort of discuss. And what we're going to do with those questions is we are going to basically repurpose this interview, right? So we've got, say, 30 minutes of discussion that's been recorded. If you feel comfortable, and I sort of recommend it, upload it to YouTube. The thing with YouTube is it's the second biggest search engine behind Google. And the thing is, Google recognize that as a really important sort of like signal that you're kind of creating a community, and if you link it back to your site, then you kind of get the link building juice out of that as well. So YouTube just works. I would transcribe the interview. So there are heaps of free tools out there, transcribe video, and then you can just download that transcription and just repurpose that for a blog. So just kind of get the headings for those questions, and then those answers are kind of in the paragraph, and sort of before you know it, 20, 30 minutes of talking can equate to like 2,000 words. You can even get 2 or 3 blog posts out of that. And in WordPress, you can schedule that in. So you might kind of have one post in month 1, another one in month 2, and then all of a sudden you've got 3 interviews and you've got 6 months worth of posts, if not more. Blog posts. But even then, from your blog post, you can pick out those questions and create social media posts. So if we've kind of got say 6 blog posts out of our 3 interviews, we can easily get 12 or if not 24 social media posts of content. And then if you can add in another say 6 posts, we've got 30 posts. Every second day we're kind of got content to post over 60 days. And there's no shame in repurposing some of those posts the next month either. So basically, not everyone's going to see your post or even remember what you posted, 45 days ago. So don't be scared to just repost that. You can just choose another photo or, just slightly change the word will be fine. And then once we've got all this content, we're right to kind of put some of that in an email marketing campaign. So share your YouTube video, share your blog and social media with your database. So if you predominantly do physio and clinical Pilates, well, your database will likely be interested in nutrition as well. And so that would be a really great excuse to say, we've sat down with XYZ, who's the local nutritionist, and we're speaking to her about how nutrition can help with women's health. And that is just a great piece of content that can be a major benefit to your database. It might not bring in if you might not have a dietitian on site, but it's going to kind of, it could kind of just give them, I need to see the physio, I need to really get back into clinical Pilates, or, you might even just help the local nutritionist out with some new work as well. And then that can work vice versa. So, the nutritionist might invite you to talk about physio on her kind of blog as well, or her email marketing. And I kind of encourage you to think outside the square as well. Once you kind of get into this sort of routine, you might reach out to the local gym or, the local footy club and just do some interviews, and, they get to post it on their social media, or, they can even send out an email to their database as well and advertise your business. So that's pretty much a wrap. It's kind of a lot in there to unpack. The big thing I kind of wanted you guys to get out of it is it's not really let's just go all in on Google SEO, or let's all go in on Google Ads, or just social media. It all needs to tie in together. And I think if you've got a nice system in place, you can really make it work and get your clinic humming. So if there are any questions, please feel free to email me or give me a call. I always love a chat to learn about your clinics and what's worked with you in the past. And if any of this sort of interests you, we're always happy to help out where we can. All right. Have a great weekend.